Here you go. This will be fun to do and reasonably quick. So let's build a solid on top of this parabola where the cross sections made perpendicular to the x-axis will be isosceles right triangles. And so this whole thing will work best if we use parametric equations. So a parametric equation in GeoGebra looks like this. Curve, the x-coordinate's t, the y-coordinate is f of t, and the z-coordinate would be 0, and t would go from -6 to +6. So that is the curve, and it is named A. And I want to do this again, but now I want to make like something that kind of goes up above that curve. That'll be maybe the top edge of our isosceles right triangle. And so there's a couple of ways to do this. Really, the only thing we need to change is the z-coordinate of our parametric equation. And so if I go to the 3 dots and I duplicate my input, I can change that 0 to an f of t. And there is that kind of a back edge. And the only thing that is left for us to do is to do this front edge along the x-axis that goes from -6 to +6. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go duplicate the input. And then the only thing, I did not mean to do that, but the only thing I will need to do is I will need to delete out the y-coordinate, set it equal to 0, and the z-coordinate, set it equal to 0. And so there is that front edge. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to build the surfaces around it. So I want to stretch surface A up to surface B, if you will. And let me see if I can move this little control thing for my screencast. So if there was a command, it might start with this thing called surface, and it is. And so I'm going to go u times a of t plus 1 minus u times b of t. I'm nowhere near my parentheses. 1 minus u times b of t. And u will go from 0 to 1. That's how these typically work. And t will go from -6 to +6. And so there's that back edge on the surface. And just like we did before, I want to get the front edge. Instead of going from A to B, I want to go from B to C. So I will duplicate that input. And instead of an A, I will make that a C. And then the only thing that is left is the bottom, which is from C to A. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this input and change the B to an A. So there is our surface, where the cross sections would be an isosceles right triangle. Wish I was teaching calculus again.